You are now listening to another episode of the Chanel and Alan Chit Chat Podcast with your hosts, Chanel Marshall and Alan Byrne.
Yo, man, you look like an assassin or something today, man. You look like you're. Is this why you can only do a record for an hour today? Because you have to fucking abseil down a building to assassinate the Prime Minister of Indochina?
Why are you telling people what I'm about to do?
Well, this will come out a few weeks after they've already been offed, and that way you can claim the fame. Turns out he didn't choke on that parsnip he was eating after all. It was your death grip that got him. That's it, man. Why are you looking so ninja?
I don't know. I just put it on. I don't.
Just put it on. You were just like, let's see what's in the cupboard. Oh yeah, ninja outfit, throwing stars. Yeah, it's it's Friday. Let's see what happens. Very good. You're looking very, very dangerous, which is good because you are dangerous, but you don't normally look dangerous as dangerous. So I'm glad to see you're being honest with people.
I am dangerous. How? What?
Yeah. All right. Okay. Playing that
memo.
What's going on? How's Chanel land?
Cool. Like I've been doing loads of like networking stuff, which is new to me for my business. So that's an interesting space to be in, meeting new people and meeting people that are like, they want you to win, if that makes sense. But it's like you don't know them, but like they want to help you. And
well, that is interesting because normally, Chanel, if I remember correctly, you hate meeting new people. So I've never seen you be like, I met new people and I'm happy about it before. So these are the type of new people you want to meet. Is that right?
I guess so. But like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's the conversation starters are not like crickets. Like, like when we'll be at a comedy gig and then it'll be like, oh, your set was great. And you'll be like, thanks. And
Thank
then
you.
Like,
trail off. ...
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we do now? So yeah, it's been like, yeah, it's been good. No complaints.
Good. And now, is this all? I might have to go downstairs in a second. I have guys putting in doors in the front and back of the house. If they go, Alan, come look at this door. New doors, new non-break-inable doors. The old doors in the house were a bit like, come on in. Avail yourself of a bunch of second-hand electrical appliances that you can sell. So they're white. These ones are very well enforced. So is this all off the back of your Tony Robbins seminar, or is this unconnected, or is this connected? Because I can't remember when last time I spoke to you, but I know you were gonna do that.
I think it's kind of like indirectly. Like I've spoken to some people from the Tony Robbins event, because we've like made some WhatsApp groups and stuff. But it's mainly through like LinkedIn, and I also went on another course regarding like it was about selling and stuff.
2 seconds. Sorry, yes, the doorman have installed the doors, and the doors are looking great. Yeah, the door, they did a great job installing the doors. I have no problem with the doors, but the doors that my father has selected, the front door has a big glass diamond you can see in and see out of. And I'm like, so that just come up to the front of the house and have a look in. Now, I know you can look in the windows, but there's something about it being the front door where I'm like, I don't know. Like that's the one area of the house where I want some privacy or something. I don't know. I don't get it. But when I saw it, I was like, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's because when someone rings your doorbell or whatever it is, knocks on your door, you kind of go to answer the door. And like when you're walking down your little hallway or whatever it is, you kind of have a second to be like, okay, outside facing human face. You got last couple of seconds to scratch your balls or equivalent, and then kind of like get that look of I just fucking hate my life off your face before you open the door. But like with that glass diamond on there, you've got to be like in public mode as soon as you turn the corner. Yeah, jazz hands as soon as you pop out. Like, so I don't know. I might have to I might get some of that, that sort of blurry glass.
Yeah, frosted thingy.
Yeah.
Transfer paper thing. Yeah.
Get a frosted sticker.
Question.
Yes.
What is that on the chair behind you?
Which way? Over here?
Mm-hmm. That's the only chair that I can see. Yes.
Yeah, fair enough. So it's a big those are red lights, and that is a squawk, the purple bird. It's not I don't know what it is. My friend got it for me for Christmas many years ago.
Yay.
So this is a squawk. It's kind of, I guess it's sort of something like between an emu and maybe a penguin. I don't know. I'm not sure. Because an emu, it doesn't have like a bent neck. Do you know what I'm saying? It just goes straight up. So it's good though, isn't it? It's cute.
It's interesting. I was just like looking at it when you was gone. I was like looking at that and being like, what is that? And then the demonic mask you have on the wall. I was just like,
yeah, it's an interesting combination. It's like, what's it, Annabelle or one of these things where the spirit goes into the cute doll, except I know it's an evil looking doll. But this is were you watching it intently, Chanel, in case it moved?
I was just trying to figure out what it was at first. I'm like, what is that?
I should have just pretend it's been like, what are you talking about? There's nothing there. It's just an empty chair. I don't know what you mean. I should have just pretended like I couldn't see it, like it was in your head.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't do that, because I would really, I'm glad you didn't do that.
Freak out. So I'm sorry. Anyway, before we got off on the talking about door windows, but yes, you were saying you're doing lots of networking through LinkedIn and things like that, and meeting people who are.
So yeah, it's a different space to be in, and then I have an interview that I'm being asked to do as well.
NinjaAssassins.com. Okay, it makes sense. Now I know. All right, you're dressed up. I get
it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'll probably give once that actually happens, I'll give more feedback.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool.
But yeah, no, everything's just moving nicely.
Very good. Glad to hear that. That's great to hear. Good, because I was. Well, my new computer came today, and my new keyboard came today. So I'm going to actually start setting it up now. So this is the old laptop. So hopefully I'll be able to edit if I can get it working, I might be able to edit the episode. So we might be able to get it out later in the weekend, but we'll see. There's no rush, because I know I'm behind. But this thing now, it's like I can run like one program on it at a time. If I try to do anything else, it just goes. It's on it. It did well. I've had it for almost 10 years now. In fairness, this thing it's done well. But the last podcast I was editing as the thing was sort of crashing and coming back was the one with you and Mary, the baby. I was editing, dude, and you just seem so much like calmer and zenner now. You just were fried with this baby, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know if that could be an episode, because unless you could take out if there's any funny bits, and just make that just be some clips. But being an actual episode, I was like, I still was not present there, because that child was just like, we're really not doing this right now. I want to play with the shelf.
I have to say, I thought it was hilarious. I think there's parts in it that are hilarious, but I'll send it to you, and then if we can turn it into clips, or we can do it. I think it's great. Because I think you're just. Do you know what I love about it is there's just parts in it where you're you're honestly reacting. The baby hits you in the head, and you just go, Jesus Christ. There's one thing you say that I see. Talking about a podcast on a podcast, how narcissistic are we? But there's one thing where you just the baby headbutts you, and you go, when they do that, it just makes me want to throw the whole baby away. It did crack me up, man, the way you said it. I just want to throw the whole thing away.
It's true, because you have to remember, no, they are a baby. They didn't mean it. But
dude,
that hurt. You just want to drop them and just be like, ah!
What you got to do is you just got to write all that stuff down, and then when they turn 18, you just slap them. You just go, that was for when you were 6 months old, and you poked me right in the eye. I couldn't see for a week and a half. Right in the eye.
When they headbutt you, and it hurts them. So then they cry and you're like,
they're like, there's people like that who are adults, you know what I mean? They fuck you up and then they're crying about it and you're like, fuck, how is this on the victim and you're upset? And now everyone's looking at me like I'm abusive in the restaurant. You're like, oh, Jesus Christ. You know, that's everyone's looking at me like they want to call social services because you decided to have a meltdown after hitting me. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And you haven't even noticed that my screen is the correct size.
Oh shit. Oh, see, I knew there was something else, but I thought you just moved the cat. You're full screen. You're full. Does that mean you managed to get your computer working as well?
Gemma is like the godsend.
She is good.
She gave me it's a webcam, so we had to do that, and then she managed to set up, because originally we thought we could figure out the laptop situation, but then for the Tony Robbins event they needed to obviously see you, and it was like, and it's via Zoom, and it was like, yeah,
so you had to get it done. Oh, I know, I get it. Oh yeah. Oh, fucking podcast with Alan. Yeah, we'll use whatever blurry bit of fucking thing off my phone. But Tony is in town, and suddenly the fucking tech squad, Gemma and the tech crew, has to just come in and rewire everything. No, spare no expense. Oh yeah, I get it.
No,
Tony.
because shut up. Because originally we thought Gemma could just look at the laptop and it was going to work.
But
and then
she does have that magical power about her, yes.
And we was thinking, okay, and I was like, cool. And then she never managed to get around here to do it. And then she came to bring me something else. I think I must have mentioned it again for the Tony Robbins event. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to just have to use my my tablet. But the only thing is I won't be able to interact with the chat and whatever. You can't do that.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then she was like, oh, I've got a camera. I'll bring it to you now. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. This was the night before the event. And then was trying loads of stuff and everything. And it was like nearing the end when she was about to lose her shit. She was just like,
yeah. And she's very patient.
I'll figure it out. So yeah.
Good for her. You got to give it to, when you're good at gardening, someone says you have a green thumb. Gemma's got like a robot thumb. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know what you'd call that. A tech thumb. She's good at that, And not that I only know that from her talking to me about fixing phones and things. From whatever gig, when we were both coming back from whatever gig she had come to, we were going back to the same direction. And she just, I was doing that thing where I was sort of nodding along, like I sort of knew what she meant, but I didn't really know what she meant. She was like, you got to be careful with the, the screen optimizer, sanitizer when you take it off with the thing. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure, yeah, I agree.
Oh, good, yeah. Gemma, she definitely is a Jackie of all trades.
Very good. I like that. She's a Jackie of all trades with a robot thumb, as we like to say around these parts, whatever parts they are. I'm not doing too badly myself. I have indoors put in. I've planted seeds finally in my little hydroponic shelf garden. I built this it's all these tubes and pipes and waters and pumps and lights, and I kind of built this frame thing for it. So I just planted seeds yesterday. So I got to wait now a couple of days to see if they start growing up.
Days?
Yeah, only a couple of days, and they'll be like shooting up. They get the shoots, and then I don't really know. I'm trying to grow chili peppers, peppers like bell peppers, regular peppers, and then plum tomatoes, the little ones, the little roundy ones. So we'll see what comes up. Yes, very exciting.
Yeah, I thought that we kind of lost you in the midst of that. I thought I don't think Alan's gonna come back from this.
Dude, you just thought they were gonna find my skeletonized corpse just surrounded by all these plants growing around me. Just they've got me.
I just thought you was gonna just be found in a ditch somewhere, like a ditch that you was digging. Yeah.
Did like a mafia hit job on myself, dug my own grave and shot myself into it. That's, it's very fun. I know we don't like talking about suicide, but I was like, no one ever does that. I was like, if you're going to kill yourself, that's what you should do. Dig your own grave and shoot yourself into it. And then no cleanup. That's very considerate. Honestly, if you found me like that, you could hardly complain, could you? Well, you know what? He was always very considerate. I know you couldn't bury yourself into it. Someone would
I was
have
about to say that. I was about to say, well, then someone's still got to do some sort of work. So,
okay, fuck.
So there is no way of saying, okay.
Okay, so what I have to hire a mini digger, dig it out, have all the ground ready to go back into the hole. And then all you have to do is just do a little mini digger job, Chanel. I don't know how much better than that I can do. You just use, I'm not saying you don't even need to touch a spade.
But then I still have to find you though.
Well, yeah, well, I suppose that's only, so I had to say, well, okay, Jesus Christ, some people are so hard to fucking please. Fine, I'll leave you a sequence of clues, all right? I'll send you a letter, and then every time you find a new clue, there's like a prize or something, because otherwise you get fucked off. I know you lose interest.
I just don't want to find your corpse, so I would just opt out not to be the one that finds you, thanks, so... Fine.
I'll get someone else then. Some friend you are. I don't want to find your corpse. Oh, fine.
That's one of the boundaries that I'm
one of your many bound. Yeah, that's it. That's where you draw the line. Fair enough.
That's one of my boundaries. Yeah, I actually got told I have too many boundaries, and I was like, yeah.
By like someone or by one of these coachy sort of friendly people? Or?
Oh no, by just somebody that I know, a new person.
Okay.
And I was like, no, I don't. I am expressing my boundaries. Either you like it or you don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's too many boundaries. That's very sort of, what's the word, personal or something. I feel like how can you say someone has too many boundaries? Because it's relative, isn't it?
Exactly. And to me, it was like, well, you're saying that because it doesn't fall in line with your behavior.
Yeah, what you want from the...
Exactly. And I just thought to myself, you're showing your ass, so it's fine. But it's like, I don't.
So what you're saying, Chanel, is one of your boundaries that cannot be crossed is telling you that you have too many boundaries. That's one of your boundaries, and you not to cross that boundary. So I'm making a list of these things now, on my list of my very short list of things not to annoy Chanel. Don't cross her boundary about talking about her boundaries, and don't let her find your corpse. Jesus, it never ends, does it? Huh? Fucking standards,
But let me see your view on this. Or I don't know, maybe you might be different.
Okay.
Right. So I was having a conversation the other day, and we was talking about video calling.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't really know somebody, would you initially just video call them when you just got the urge, or would you call them first, like just normal call?
Okay, so can you give me an example? So I've met this person previously, have I, in some fashion, or have I met them online, or like?
No, you've met them in person.
Okay.
You just getting to know them, and then you're like, oh, okay. Oh, I want to speak to them. Let me video call. Or would you think, let me actually call you?
Good. This is good. I think messaging is normally how I would interact with anybody first, right? If I met them in person, let me get your details. Or if I find them on Facebook, hey, this is Alan, this is that baldy guy talking about you finding his corpse. We bumped into each other in the shops today. You remember me. And I think I text him. And then I think if I'm going to call them or video call them, I just give them a heads up first, say, hey, and I would be like, hey, do you want to, maybe we could call, like open-ended. So it's not like, I'm calling, get ready. So it's sort of like, is that okay? Is that something that you might be, so I think I would probably do that, whether or not it was video call or call. I don't actually think I would these days. I don't think I would call someone out of the blue without messaging them first anyway. But I definitely wouldn't video call them out of the blue. I might call them out of the blue, having just met them once before. I don't think I would do that normally anyway, but I might do it. But I definitely wouldn't just like video, no. Why? Do you just getting randos
Right
just being like
now, so I have this issue with video calling, and it's not an issue. I think it's one of my boundaries, because I just think like I don't see why you need to see into my space and assume that whoever I'm around wants to be seen. Like,
you need to talk to my father buying these fucking doors where it's just have a look in the fucking hallway. Just it's the same principle, isn't it? This lunatic.
Like, I have it's like a little pet peeve of mine that I don't even know, even if I've known you for ages, don't think that you can automatically just video call me and think I'm going to answer. Like,
yeah,
there's only 2 people in my life that they can video call me at a drop of a hat. And I know if they're video calling me, it's because they need to see me and they need to talk to me. So I will pick up.
Yeah, something sort of
important. Other than that, you need to ask my permission to video call me. And you need to give me a heads up. Like, I don't get this whole people feeling like they have the right to just invade your space just because they have your number and they're like, oh yeah, I want to see you. Like, I don't give a flying fucking monkeys what you want. Don't just think you can video call me and then think that you have the right to see in my space. Like, I don't.
And am I right in saying, Chanel, now and I think the more you talk about it, the more I'm like, yeah, I agree with this. There is a big difference between audio calling, and video calling, because like, I feel like although despite what I had said previously, I think it's a big difference, because it's like, if I can see into you, seeing into your space, like you can be in your underpants, you know what I mean? You can be, you're so they're not giving you any heads up.
No, and it's just like, for me, it's like people like this has come up quite a few times with me, and I'm just like, you sometimes can go into the bathroom and you could be on the toilet and you could be messaging somebody quite happily.
Oh, man.
I'm messaging you, that's fine. But then you want to call me. Like, I'm not gonna shit, but I'm managing to be polite and respond to you. But now you want to fucking video call me and be like, hey, like, I'm not gonna answer. But even then, just the sheer fact of, why do people think that it's okay for you to be able to see? If I wanted you to be in my space, I'd invite you over.
Yeah.
Like,
now, 2 things on that. One is you only need to answer them on video call from your toilet one time in order to stop this problem. That's what I say. If you want them to stop calling, you just put the phone on the floor too, so they get in a real low angle, so they, you know what I mean, they can see your pants around your ankles. Just make it awful, and just keep talking to them. You're doing reach around and everything. Just keep. And then, don't call. I might call you back later. I gotta go. That's it. Then I'll never call again. But number 2 is, is there
number 2 really?
Hey, they are comedians. Do you think there's an age thing in this? Because I think younger people, because everything's online, I think they have less not boundaries, whatever you want to say. They're more inclined to just be like, yeah, we're always online. We're always being videoed. Or is this your grandma who's doing this to you? Do you know what I mean?
No, I think I don't know. I think my dad tried to video call me once, and I was like, are you really video calling me? And then spent the whole time looking at his freaking chin, and I was like, so what did you video call me for? We could have just had a call. Like,
this is important for me to see
literally,
this.
he had the phone. He had the phone down here, and he's talking. And I was like, so you video called me? Why, Dad? What's going on? Like, I don't get it. But other than that, no, I think it's more people that in my
in your age bracket. Young people, Chanel. Don't young people. But I know what you're saying. Not young, super young. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't.
And I've always noticed it as well. Especially, it seems to be guys as well. They seem to have zero filter.
Oh, that's interesting. That's
and
interesting.
You're like, really? And I don't know. Me personally, I think I'm kind of sacred with my time, and people may think, oh, that's you being selfish or whatever, but I need you to let me know when you're going to call me.
Yeah.
Because I need to be able to allot my time to you and be like, okay, do I actually want to speak to you for a whole hour?
Yes.
Or two? Or like, you know, I might want to just chill and watch something on TV, or I may have work to do or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just like to know when these things are coming in. If it's
I'm the same
conversation, cool. If it's just a, hi, I need this. Okay, cool. All right, bye. That's fine.
Yeah,
But,
I agree with that, because again, it's kind of like, okay, one of it's like organizational, like, am I literally doing other things? But the other thing that we talked about before, it's kind of like, it's just making sure that you've got, like, you're in the headspace to actually talk to it. It's for their benefit too, because that means you're like in the zone where you actually want to talk to them, and you're not like, dude, you ever done, when you're talking to somebody and you're just like on your computer, you're just like, please let this end. I don't want to. And it's not even necessarily because you dislike them, you're just not in the frame of mind for it. I 100% like heads. The only exception to that, I would say, is there's a few. I'm just thinking about this today because my father called me today. There's sometimes people have like you get into a rhythm with someone whereby, like, my dad now frequently will call me on the Friday where we don't have a quiz, and I'm kind of half expecting that. So that doesn't throw me anymore. I'm not just like, what the hell? Like, because there's some sort of regularity has come into that. So I think that might be the only exception to the rule I can think of. But even then, I'm kind of expecting it, aren't I? So that even that isn't really that much of a deviation.
But then I think it doesn't apply
Fucking people,
like,
man. These
it doesn't
fuckers.
apply for family. I think it's more for me. It's kind of like friends and associates that applies to. Like, my sister can call me whenever.
Nah, man, my brothers better be fucking hitting my secretary up. That's what I say. You want to fucking talk to me?
Like, and if I can't speak, I don't, like, there's no issue in me going, I'm not really in a conversation mood right now.
Okay, I see.
Like, say that, do you get what I mean? Or like the conversation will be a lot shorter.
I know what you're saying. That's a good point.
I just think people feel too entitled to having people's time. And it's like, you're no one, like, I don't understand why you feel entitled that you can have my time whenever you want to.
Now, the flip side, would you say that those people are also more receptive, though, to like randomly getting calls from fucking everybody? Because there's this thing about how, like, you have to be available 24/7. Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's fair to say you don't know and you don't care. But I think to some extent, like, there's this culture whereby everyone's always online, but really, which is fine to some extent, but it means that you're always available. You're always picking up text and messages and emails, and just the video calls an extension of that.
But then I think that's a very narrow way to think about things, because just because you send me a message on WhatsApp and I reply doesn't mean that I'm not in the midst of cooking dinner, or or I'm walking down the street.
I see what you're saying. There's a medium difference.
It's not like, it's people assume just because you are on some sort of social platform, or you respond to them via some sort of media, whatever, that means that in real life, you're able to just be like, let's have a conversation. It's like, well, no, just because I said okay or yes to your last thing, and then I walk away from my phone, and then it's like, oh, I just called you.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. From a logic and reason point of view, you make sense. But what I'm saying is there's kind of like, there's a culture, or as you said, you can call it entitlement, whatever it is. There's like the way technology is pushing us towards a culture whereby you expect that people can contact you at any time, and you expect to be able to contact people at any time in any which old way. So now I'm saying you're 100% right in the fact that that doesn't make sense if you think about different mediums and things like that. But what I'm saying is that all of this together contributes towards a society or whatever, where generally people expect just to be able to get Chanel any which way they want her, digitized avatar, whatever they want, any version of you they want.
So like I say, like, you shouldn't have expectations, because expectations lead to disappointment. So don't expect that I'm going to fall in line with how you want me to be.
I concur. I concur. You got to set boundaries, Chanel. Set expectations for people. Let people know that's fine. Oh, maybe that's what you think should happen, but guess what? It's not happening. It's not happening. It's
not in
funny.
my world.
Yeah, but I think honestly though, psychoanalyzing people who are hypothetical, I don't even know. But as well, I think part of the problem is, people expect that of other people, that they can just call you whenever or whatever it is. But also I think that they feel like they have to just be available all the time. There's always online stuff, and that's bad, man. That means you never have, like, the back of your head, you're always thinking, I could be called upon to respond or interact with somebody. And that's just, I think that's a bad way, because then you don't have any of that mental time for yourself,
Exactly. And that's what I'm doing. I'm protecting my mental space and my time. And also, I'm not allowing you to basically just piss away my time, because it's important and it's precious to me. So you can just chat crap.
I agree with you, Chanel. I agree with you 100%.
And you know what? Saying that, I had to like kind of check someone the other day. So obviously my whole thing is positivity, changing your mindset and that. And obviously, of course, that's not going to be every single day, because that's not realistic. But
sure, yeah. I mean, I've known you for long enough to know that it's not the positive. That's your philosophy, but it's not necessarily your day to day, because you're human.
Exactly. So I had someone on another social platform, and they said to me, "Oh, like, I don't actually know them, but like they was like, oh, how are you and whatever," and I was like, "Oh, I'm actually amazing. Yeah, like, how's things with you, whatever." Anyway, then they came back with, now I've said I'm amazing, right? That was my line, because that's how I was feeling when I typed it.
Nice.
And then they come back and be like, "Oh, okay, so how are you dealing with this dreadful pandemic?"
Oh, I see what's happening here. I love this.
So I'm like, what did I just say that I was feeling amazing, and then you come with dreadful pandemic? And I was like, okay, let me see what this person actually, like, what their line of work is or whatever. Let's have a look. So I had a look, and they're also in the coaching profession, like myself.
That's great.
And I was like,
positivity coaching profession.
So I was like,
that's so good.
I don't think that it's dreadful. But I feel like everything that's basically happening, I was like, negative things that happen, you can look at them as a life lesson and just choose to work through them with a smile on your face. So I left it as that. So then they came back with, oh, I think this is definitely a pandemic. And
so did they totally ignore what you said, or did they kind of like say, yeah, I know what you mean, but they totally ignored?
So then it was like, yeah, it's definitely a pandemic, and I just, like, I feel so worried, and like feel really bad for the people that have lost people in this time. Yeah, so and I was like, pull up. We need to bring it back. So I was like, I'm addressing the word that you said, which was dreadful.
Sure.
I never said that it's not a pandemic.
Yes.
I'm saying that words are powerful, and we need to think about how we choose to put certain labels on situations, which basically will control the outcome and how we choose to basically look at a situation.
Good point. Yeah, very good.
Then they were like, oh, okay. I see what you mean. I get what you mean. I was like, you bloody better. I just thought to myself, no, you just come and freaking wiped your bloody crack over my freaking day.
Your misery crack was wiped all over Chanel's lovely day.
Just tried to shit stain my day, and I was just like, not today, Betty. Not today. And I just thought to myself, it's so crazy how someone can say that they're a coach of positivity and mindset and be so negative and not actually see that that's what you should. Because you chose to put that word dreadful in front of the word pandemic. Someone can see the word pandemic and think that's a positive thing. It's an absolute positive thing. It's made people change. It's like it's opened up whole loads of cans of worms. Basically, it's made people think completely differently. You can look at the positive side of it instead of looking at the negative side of the word pandemic.
Sure.
And I was just like, anyone these days wants to call themselves a freaking coach, and they're not putting in the work, and it's just
yeah, I got you.
You can have off days, but you can't come and lay that at someone else's door. Like,
well, I think now the only thing I think of playing devil's advocate is, I suppose maybe if somebody thinks that you're in the sort of whatever coaching profession, you see this with like shrinks and stuff as well. If you're in that profession, that like maybe they feel like they have permission more to be their negative self around you because you're no. All right, okay,
no. That person didn't know.
Okay, all right, okay, yeah.
You know, if you feel like you're feeling really crappy, you're just thinking, you know, I can actually like offload on Chanel, like, because she's gonna feel where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
You know me like that. This person didn't know me like that.
I got you.
That was their true, authentic self really showing its ass, and I was just like, we're not doing that here.
No,
We're not doing that. Because if you're gonna turn around and say that you are a coach of these things, then you need to embody these things.
Yeah, like, I think embody is a good description. Yeah.
But don't have off days with people that you don't know.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I know exactly what you're saying. Intuitively, that just is all wrong, because it's like well, I mean, even if you're not a bloody coach, I mean, but especially if you're claiming that, you know, what you want to do is try to you know, empower people and get people feeling positive about themselves, to then you, as you said, you focusing on the word choice, I thought was very clever as well, because like dreadful, you know, the language people use has weight to it, you know, so you're framing things a certain way, which is fine if you're going to doing it consciously, perhaps, if you know what I mean. But there's you can definitely tell when people are just kind of not thinking, carelessly unloading all of their negativity onto you, which again, sometimes people need that in relationships, but just doing it to strangers, just like, sling your hook, man, fuck off, I don't need that shit.
100%. Literally, I was just like, wow. I was like, someone's trying to test me here. Like, are they?
That was it.
See if I'm fully like embodying what I say, because I actually do. And the fact of that, if I didn't say that I was amazing, or was you trying to test to see whether I really was amazing? But then so you're still trying to, like, I don't know, sprinkle droplets of shit on my day. Do you know what I mean? Because imagine if I was kind of on the fence of how I felt, you know.
Sure.
I was amazing, but maybe I was just okay.
Or maybe you were saying that amazing to try and get you into that headspace, but you weren't quite there. Then something like that really could drag you back down, right?
Exactly. And it's just like, people need to understand how, like you said, how much weight a word can carry and the impact that it can have. You need to like choose your words very carefully, especially in this current time. And I think just in general, like, if we want a better world and where everyone's basically happy, I'm not going to say positive, because, you know, you can still be happy and not be positive.
Yeah. Like, let's set some expectations here. Happiness, you know, let's wait for 2021 before we start leaning on happy. You know, content.
But like,
that's the goal for now.
But like, everyone to basically just be like, I'm actually thankful that I woke up today, not just thinking like, oh, fuck, another day. You know, we have to kind of be careful with how we say things and make sure that we speak with like freaking purpose.
Do you know what just came into my head there, that I was like, what is it about that sort of, there's something off about that interaction that you were saying? And you know what it occurred to me as well, it's the language you use, but it's also the framing, right? And there's the framing, which is, I was thinking about this in relation to some political person I was criticizing. I was like, why do I find them so fucking annoying? I was like, oh, that's why. Is you can if the lady or whoever, the man or whoever the fuck it was, or a friend or somebody had said, actually I'm feeling dreadful, which is a weird, sounds like this is a Victorian, seems like a strange phrase, but we're saying feeling dreadful. Actually, that's not as bad, in my opinion, because what you're not saying the world is terrible, but you're saying actually at the moment, I'm having, and now I'm not saying this was even appropriate in the context of this person, but I'm just saying side by side, right? Because actually, if I say I'm feeling dreadful, I'm not really trying to change how you feel about it in a coercive or sneaky way. I'm just saying how I'm feeling about it. If I say this, I just feel in this dreadful pandemic, actually what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to say the reality is dreadful and you're wrong for not responding to the dreadfulness of the reality. It's even more coercive. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I'm not just telling you how I feel. I'm actually trying to reframe how you feel. And that's not cool. That's even less cool. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, not today, Satan.
Not today, baby. Satan over my shoulder. Get behind me, Satan. I got a bunch of satanic, creepy, weird shit from my bedroom. I bought a Ouija board. Love this now. I got a Baphomet statue. My dad's gonna hate it. I've got all this evil skulls and shit. It's gonna be deadly, dude.
Why though? I don't
Just
understand.
because what it was is like the room. I was trying to think about how to decorate this room, not this room, a different room. And make it looking kind of, I think it was because it was Halloween too, had a lot of this stuff in my brain, so I'll make it look kind of gothic-y. And then I went down a sort of like I was looking for gothic-y candlesticks, which actually came in handy because the power goes out here all the time, and other like spooky sort of stuff. And I just went too far with it. I went too far down I went from like gothic all the way into fully spooky satanic. It does look cool though. It does look cool.
Okay.
I'm doing it because I know
was saying that next year we was gonna come and visit you, but
Yes. See, I can't do the Ouija board by myself. That's the thing. You need other people.
Motherfucker, you be doing that by yourself because I'm not involved. Nah.
I knew it. I can't. All of my friends, everyone I've said this to, they're like, Alan, we don't want to, contact the dead. We don't want to make a pact with Satan. Everyone is so What about being supportive? Where did that go, huh? What about me trying to actualize my goals of contacting
There's some things
Baphomet?
that I feel like no matter how integrated and how diverse and how we really like come together as one, there's certain things that Black people just ain't gonna do. I'm sorry.
Oh, you think it's the black thing? That's it.
There's just some things that there's certain support
Which
levels.
is funny because they call it Black Mass. So there you go. They're fucking got the branding wrong on that one, didn't they?
110%. I'm okay.
That's
yeah. It's like I watched the movie called His House.
Okay, I do not know.
So spoiler alert. It's basically about refugees coming from, I don't know where they came from in Africa, but they end up coming here, and it's basically them moving into a house, and weird like voodoo black magic shit starts to happen.
Interesting. Is this like a new movie or an old movie?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh, cool.
It's actually, who's the BBC funded movie? It's English movie. And at first I was like, I saw the trailer and I was like, ooh, you know what I said about scary movies, and I'm like, not today.
Well, we went through details about which ones you're okay with and which ones you're not. So you see, if it was zombies, no problem, because you don't believe in zombies. But obviously, some part of you is like, oh, black magic, that's on the border of being real.
Right. So I was like, saw the trailer and I was like, no, at nighttime, that's not happening. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me watch it in daytime. So I watched it in the daytime, and it It's a little scary.
Okay, all right.
But you're probably not going to watch it, so I'm going to tell you what happens anyway. So,
Well, I probably will, but tell me anyway. Just go ahead. I don't care.
So basically, it's a story about karma.
Okay.
So if you basically act without thinking or thinking a negative way, you gonna get shit. So basically what happens is,
did you send a link of this to your friend who was trying to tell you about the dreadful pandemic?
No, I should have done.
You should
have been like, see what I mean? So basically they were trying to, there's two separate gangs, or villages, and they basically, one village came and raided the other and basically was like killing and like
right.
looting and stuff like that. So they needed to basically get out.
Okay.
And they got to this coach, and the woman was like, no more people can get on here. No more people can get on here. And it was the husband and the wife, and he was like, she's like, oh no, children only. And he was like, and then there was a little child in front of him, and he was like, oh, this is a child.
Ah, right.
They ended up getting on the bus
with the kid,
with this child. Right. So in the beginning of the movie, they say, oh, that they lost their daughter. Right. So the whole time you're like, oh, okay, their daughter died because they were on a boat. She drowned.
Right. Something like this. Yeah.
Right. So I'm thinking, okay, it's their child. Well, now they're on this bus now, and the wife is sitting over this side, and then he's sitting with this child on his lap. And then you see a woman out the back window screaming and shouting.
Right, because they took the kid. Oh, shit. Okay.
So now they've got to a point where they're now on a boat. And I don't know if the boat capsized or whatever, but then they were basically getting rescued by British people, whatever.
Yeah.
But he was grabbing the wife away from the little girl, and the little girl couldn't swim, but the wife could swim. And she was like, let me go so I can grab the little girl and help her, whatever. He was just like, no. Grabbed her. They got on the boat. The little girl drowned.
Oh, shit.
So basically this spirit...
This is not looking good for these fuckers.
Right. This spirit was basically saying that if she cuts the flesh of the husband, then they can bring back the little girl.
Oh, my God. Okay.
So his life for hers.
So is this now when they're in UK in somewhere spooky? This second part's happening. Okay.
This is now that they're in the house, and this house basically he's seeing visions, he's seeing stuff in the walls and all this stuff. Fine, and he won't let her leave the house. And some reason she believed that the child was actually hers. I don't know how, in that midst of whatever trauma that she's had.
Okay.
Little girl was hers.
Right.
So then she went and had some fantasy dream, whatever, and realized that the child actually wasn't hers.
Okay. All sorts of stuff.
But anyway, so then when she was like, she's actually gonna cut his flesh to get the little girl back.
Yeah. She
goes to do it, and then finds that he's actually taken the knife and he's done it himself.
Ah, okay.
This thing comes out of nowhere. This thing was freaking hideous. And it's basically like pushing itself into his body.
Ew. Nasty.
And then she basically says to the little girl, because you can see the little girl starting to like come back. She's like there. And then she says, sorry, I'm choosing my husband. I have to end this now. And then she cuts the thing,
the monster thing, right?
Yeah. And then you basically see them say, like, the people that come round, the inspectors or whatever of the house, and they're like, oh no, it's fine now, this is our house, we're fine. And then you see like all the spirits in the house, all the people that like died like on the boat and whatnot.
Shit.
And
shit.
So now they're living in this house with all the spirits.
Right.
Yeah, it's a
that's interesting, yeah.
Kind of movie. You're just like,
that's it's interesting as dealing with the migrant situation, but then it also has this karma thing and the guilt thing, and that's plus I love films as well where like the baddies or the goodies, like it's not black and white. Like obviously they shouldn't have done that shit with the kid, but at the same time they're escaping a terrible situation, so it's kind of you know, you have some amount of empathy for them, you know, that's better than just like, here are the bad guys, you know.
And you kind of see like the interaction of like how they're treated as obviously being refugees and stuff, and it's just like the system. Ugh. But yeah, and the fact the shithole of a house they give them, and then they're like, you can't move from here, you can't go here, there, and everywhere, you've got to stay, and then they give them 70. I thought something stupid like £74 a month or something stupid.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I know obviously like if you want to look into the they haven't put into the pot.
Well, yeah, like, £74 a month. Fuck, what can you do with that? What, you know, fuck me, man.
It was just literally just like, and the place was falling apart. The door, when he opened it, came off the hinges, and he was like, oh yeah, you can go to the shop up the road and you can get some screws. So they're getting screws out of their £74 a month, right?
Right.
Okay. All right then.
Again, that's interesting then, because the house, you know, it tapping into the thing with migrants not getting proper housing, and then the house actually. But again, that's what's cool about fiction. Like you take, like trying to explain how uncomfortable or strange that situation is. Maybe that's harder to do in a drama. Whereas in the heightened version of a horror, you actually, you know what I mean? You get more of the reality through it being fiction in this like way. I like that. Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, it's a good movie to watch.
Except, well, I don't know. Do you think maybe just in my head there, just a second, I was like, maybe this is secretly founded by like the anti-immigrant lobby, like Nigel Farage. It's like, if you come to the UK, we're going to put you in a fucking haunted house. Maybe they secretly funded
the thing
it.
that it is that you would think, because when I watched the trailer, they made it out like it was the government that put them in there, and you kind of feel like, oh, so they're doing it to make them go crazy and for them to want to go.
I see. It sort of looked in the trailer. It looked like that.
That's what it looked like. And then so when I finally watched it now, then I was like, oh, so it's because of what he did as to why they came with him. Like he brought that with him. So I was like, so it wasn't them, it was you. So if you didn't freaking, one, take that child, two, then just leave her to freaking well drowned, you guys would have, still lived in a shithole, but it wouldn't have been a spooky shithole. So, yeah.
That's not entirely sure what the moral of the story is, but it does sound like a very interesting film, and I will check it out. I like horror spooky films, but I find it hard to find new ones that I like. But that does actually sound really good. I watched one called, what was it called? Hill House from the 1930s. I'm watching all these old black and white scary films. It's Hill House is really good, just like a haunted house thing, but it's just really, really well like shot. They managed to make literally just like noises in a house seem really, really scary, which is hard even in modern films, let alone in, you know, back in the 1950s where everything just looked like it's made of paper and about to fall the fuck over. I've been watching all them old. I watched like Frankenstein and like Dracula, and some of them are really, really good. Like some of them are genuinely like beautifully shot and made, and the acting is really good. And then like some parts of them are so dumb. It's so funny. Like, and my favorite is when it's like a combination. Like you have some parts of it that you're like, wow, that's amazing. Like, how did they even do that with special effects? It's black and white, so cool looking. And then just the kookiest, dumbest fucking bullshit. But I watched one with my favorite one is so far, not my favorite one, but one that really like epitomized this was The Wolfman with Lon Chaney is the actor, this big sort of lumbering Italian bloke, and the acting is really good. Because he's like, he gets turned into a werewolf, right? But he acts, I think, the way like a person would actually act, which is like, he's just really upset. He's just like really doesn't want to be a werewolf and is really sad because he keeps waking up having killed people and he's just devastated. But he's not like, you know, like Jack Nicholson was in that wolf one. What was it? I can't remember what the wolf.
Oh, Teen Wolf.
Not Teen Wolf, but yeah, something anyway. Whereas he's just like, this is great. I'm Jack Nicholson. You know what I mean? Like there's no repercussion. Whereas the Lon Chaney one, it's like a real human being is. But so like that point of view, that the film is really realistic and the character study is really interesting. But the actual Wolfman makeup is hilarious. He just looks like a sick badger. He's just like walking around, kind of like you wouldn't you wouldn't scare a child. He just looks like a cat that you punched in the face or something, man. It's just so funny. And then I watched
like,
it's great.
You saying that, I've been watching.
I punched a cat in the face.
Yes. It's called there was something that was called Glow Up, which is a makeup
I've seen that in my
like reality thing, and then also Skin Wars. I've been watching that as well, which is like body painting competition.
Ah, okay.
So
I haven't heard
it's
that
like
one.
they're on Netflix, and I was just like, oh, let me change up like what I normally watch. But yeah, I actually enjoyed that. It's like seeing what people can actually do with an airbrush gun thing and a paintbrush. It's freaking amazing.
Some of that stuff is really cool.
Yeah, Glow Up is makeup.
Right.
But then Skin Wars is actual like body painting.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just think it's just so fascinating that people, how did they think, oh, let me paint a body?
Yeah, right.
And like now I can freaking well do like, I don't know, like landscapes and all that kind of stuff, and shading where it looks like they've actually got a hole in their chest and all that kind of stuff. And you're just like
the stuff where it's like this 3D effect, or it looks like there's holes in them, where they like, it's cool when it's just a design or when it's like a landscape or something like that. I mean, that is amazing in its own right. But when they actually work it as to be part of the body, some of that stuff is so weird but so interesting to look at. And it's sort of it's crossing that line in between like makeup, slightly more regular makeup, which is just like accentuating what's already naturally there, and then like proper like sort of abstract stuff, just kind of. I don't know why was I even watching? Sometimes you just be on YouTube and you just catch yourself. You're like, how did I end up here? It was like, and I never watched like fashion stuff really. But it was like a catwalk fashion show of people, and their outfits were just made of different bits of tape, right? So like, which sounds just like, oh, it's just pervy Alan just watching something with some chicks with like fucking duct tape on their tits, right? Which is part of it. But like, it was amazing. They had the guy made whole costume. It was like almost like body paint, because it looked like these full outfits. But actually you saw him like, they had like a bunch of people, but then like halfway through he'd actually make one on the runway as they were just before they come up, and he just like gets all these bits of tape and sticks them all over, and you're like, suddenly it looks like a swimsuit or like it's crazy. I don't know why that was but there is something about it that is interesting when it's to do with human bodies, and like that like painting of them, or actually putting the art on them, you know what I mean, like making it part of their bodies. There's something about that is, I don't know, it's odd but interesting. Skin Wars. I'll check that out. I thought it was going to be about people fucking selling like, I don't know, snakeskin boots or like fucking calf skins or some shit. I don't know. It's a Skin Wars. Human, the guy who making faces out of people's faces. There you go. That's because I've been watching all the horror stuff. That's why,
Yeah, I haven't actually, because obviously they've all like popped up now in it because of Halloween and stuff. Yeah, they're on Netflix and stuff like that. And you just look at them, you think, I don't know.
But I have to be honest, the selection of horror films on Netflix is not good. Whatever. Well, maybe it's different in different jurisdictions or whatever. But the ones I have there, I'm just like, you know what I mean. How it's not good when you search for the like name of the good one, and it's like it just shows you all ones that are kind of like that, but not as good. Do you know what I mean? Like your search. Oh, did you mean Fright Night 7? No, that's not what I fucking meant. It's not what I fucking meant. Like, they're just trying to pawn. It's like they're trying to pawn you off with like the supermarket own brand version. You know what I mean? Just like, where's the Cocoa Pops? And have you tried Choco Flakes from Tesco? Get fucked. No, I haven't tried Choco Flakes. Want the real shit. I want the real
yeah, I don't know.
If I find any good old spooky ones, I'll send them to you, Chanel. I'll send them to you.
I probably won't watch them, but
hey, there we go. What was I? The one oh, that reminds me, because I was talking about horror films with Jack Mack, who does the Rascals online comedy show thing. I did a podcast, or I recorded a podcast with him like this week. Was that this Monday, Tuesday, something like that? So I think that's going to come out.
I think the fact of that comedy is, I think the world about comedy is just like, it's like being in the toilet having a number 2 and realizing you've got a dog roll. Like it's a fundamental part of like freaking life, isn't it?
Yes, so indeed. And then you get that FaceTime call. Yeah. Simultaneously.
It's the pandemic freaking call, isn't it? Oh, look,
that was, yeah, she's on the phone talking about the dreaded pandemic. No bug, bro. FaceTime.
But yeah, it's just like, it's so vital. And the fact that they're just treating it like it's fucking nothing. And like all the grants and all the money and all that kind of stuff. It's just kind of like, well, guys, you only make people laugh. And it's like, hold on, but laughter is the best medicine ever. And you guys
for everything. Like,
of course, guys, you guys don't matter.
I definitely get why the people are annoyed about it, man. It's like, I'm like,
it's just like, you tell me that it's not an art form, because not any random Joe can write some bloody material and make people laugh.
No, man. And honestly, right now, it's like, you realize how important it is, because I was like, I still doing the family quiz, slightly different, but similar thing. I was like, we're trying to have fun. We make each other laugh. You know what I mean? I was just like this is, I'm like, it's more important than ever to be able to have something where people laugh, because like there's some people are down, like people go through ups and downs, like we're kind of, I think both of us are kind of on an upswing at the moment, but people are always at different stages as well, you know what I mean? Like when you're on the like, this pandemic's the best, someone else will be like you need that like laughter, or is what it elevates people out of the situation. So like to say it's not essential is just like, it's naff, man. It's just like, how long have you been a human being? Come on.
And it's just, and you think about the people that have been in this profession for a long period of time.
Sure.
That's all they know.
That's what they do.
What they live for. Like, and it's like, you guys are like, well, better get another job, eh?
Get another job.
Like,
nah, man, it sucks. It sucks for those people. It really does. But the whole thing is, we got vaccine to one side, whatever it is, it's the same fucking mental trap people are falling into, where they're just like, things are going to go back to the way they were. Oh, back in the good old days. Give it another month. It will all be under control. It's like, no, man, this is the new world order, man. It's like, do you ever, maybe you never watched Mad Max or any of those films, but I'm just like, where everyone's like wearing leather and it's the desert and they're in June buggies. I just imagine like one of them, there's just a few of them are in their like death buggy as they drive into battle in the desert, and like someone's in the back of the car being like, give it another month, it'll all be back to normal. We won't be sacrificing virgins to the oil gods, and it will just be, Sainsbury's will open up again, it will be fine. It's just like, nah, man, it's never going back. Just cut your losses. Just cut your losses and be happy.
I feel like, because we're now in the second bloody lockdown, right?
The third wave, the second lockdown, the fourth coming of Jesus. I don't know what we're in, but we're in fucking.
I think I just keep envisioning, like, the movie The Purge.
Yes, oh shit. Yes, I do. I
feel like that's only like a couple of.
That's only a lockdown or two away.
Yeah. Months. Yeah. I don't know. And I'm just like, imagine, it's possible, especially with all the election stuff as well happening in America. It's probably going to happen there, but
who knows?
It just makes me feel like, I don't know.
You just got to be ready. Just be ready for whatever's coming. You know what I mean? You just got to have that flexibility.
Stay in my positive bubble.
Hey, listen. You think they're not going to leave life coaches when the fucking world comes to the end? When the marauding gangs of oil barons, leather clad, they're going to need fucking counseling and positive affirmation as well. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, there's always going to be a role for Chanel, the life coach. That's what I'm saying. Even in The Purge, you'll just be like, how to self-actualize through your purging.
before I run away, on the I was in the supermarket and they have like they have the social distancing, like the queues
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
little hoppy squares. Yeah,
Yeah. Now in the supermarket it has they'll have like the social distance queue, but then it's open for 2 tills. So you stand at one point, so one person will be here, and then it's for 2 tills. So it goes quicker that way instead of it being like one line for this till, one line for this till.
I see what you're saying.
One line, and then you
Yeah,
go
yeah,
either
makes
way.
sense.
So one
Makes
frees up
sense.
first. So standing there, minding my business. So then this guy comes up and goes, "Oh, what queue are you in?" And I was like, "I'm in the queue for both." And then he's like, no, you're either in one or the other. I was like,
Decide.
I was like, don't come here and don't ask me and then tell me.
Yes, the ask and tell. Which
like,
one? Yeah, very good.
Don't come and ask and then tell me. Like, and then my mum piped, mum was like, on the floor, it's got the one thing and it says there, it's for both tills.
Right.
And he was like, oh, sorry. I was like, I was about to be like, Mum, hold my purse. Like, what?
I love that, man. I love it.
The disrespect that you're going to come and think that you already know the answer, but you're going to think you're being polite by asking, and then you're going to tell me, and you're wrong.
The fake ask. Good for your mother as well, being quick with the pointing to the thing on the floor.
Just like, and then he was like, oh, sorry. And I literally was just like, I seriously, really?
This 90% of people are like that. They act like they know in regard whatever the issue is, whether it's queuing at Sainsbury's or like whatever political shit. Everyone's just like, no, sorry, excuse me, is this what you think? Because this is what reality is. Here's the facts. And then and they just act like they're 100%. They have the information. You're a dickhead for not knowing it. And there's nothing more enjoyable than being able to go, look at what's on the floor. Look at the. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this some evidence? And then, because just like that fucking asshole, because then they just go ooh, and they shrivel, because there was nothing in there. It was just air the whole time.
I was so shocked. I was like, I haven't had no interactions with anybody in the supermarket. It's all been positive. Like that was the first negative experience that I had, and I literally was just like,
really, I suppose.
Yeah, I was like, people don't know about social distancing anyway, which is quite hilarious. But in supermarkets, they're like all stretching over, or like, most of them might have been like, your mouth still works behind the mask. You can say, excuse me, like,
yeah.
Or they do this is the classic one. They can't open their mouths because I guess they feel like it's going to just travel through the mask. So they do this. Like, just doing this.
The hover.
The hover while you stand there and you're like, I'm none the wiser because
I'm not getting any information from this gesture.
I can just see you.
I love that. I love the indistinct. Are you trying to go around me? Do you want to go over me? What do you need? What do you need? What do you want? Could you? I love that, but it is funny though. It is funny with the mask thing. I don't think it's a breathing thing. Well, it could be in some people's cases. I think it's literally like people they've maybe it's because you can't see the mouth, but I know what you mean. People now talk less to each other. It's more gestural. I don't know what that is.
But then it's like you're literally standing on top of me, saying nothing, just going like a
doing all this fucking shit,
and then trying not to really give eye contact either. Like, I didn't know you could catch it through the eyes.
That's great.
Give me something. You're just it's like when the Jack in the Box pops up and then it does that.
We're bouncing around the hover to try and get past you. The fucking hell, man.
But other than that,
the wobble zombies,
normally
the mute wobble zombies
have conversations and then they're not standing far away and you're just like, okay.
Didn't apply today, apparently. And it does, but sometimes it does. It does apply when it really upsets you, but not in other situations when it doesn't upset you. That seems to be the new rules.
Yeah, it's like, okay, guys, in the
Listen.
supermarket, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't. It can't get into supermarkets. It can't get into schools. It can't get into supermarkets, except sometimes it can. And then you need to be very careful, except when it doesn't. And then it's fine. Or is it? It's up to you. But it's not up to you because you need to do what the government tells you. But don't just do what they tell you because you need to support businesses. But if you support them too much, everyone will get sick and die. So just bear that in mind. But it's not your fault, but it is a bit. And that's it. And you just gotta, man, you just get to the point where I'm just like, I don't know about you. I'm just like I said to you before, I'm at the point where I'm just like, peace and love. I love everybody. I'm happy. I'm just here, man. I'm just here. You want to do your wobbly dance? You fucking do your wobbly dance, baby. You want to wear 3 masks? You want to wear no mask? You want to come out in a full fucking Barney the Dancer costume? Whatever you need, whatever makes you. I'm good. I'm happy.
Like we
I'm
like,
happy.
I had fun. We went to the other day. We actually had fun. Like, I wanted to get chili flakes, and for some reason, I just started saying, "Mom, should I get the chili flakes? I don't know. Do you want to get the chili flakes? Should I get the chili flakes, Mom?" And she's absolutely crying with laughter, and she's like, "Stop it!" So I was like,
"That's so funny.
What are you talking about, Mom? I just want to know, should I get the chili flakes or not? Like, I don't understand what's happening here, Mom. Mom,
that's really good. I didn't know you were good at that. That's really good.
Like, talk to me, Mom. Just talk to me. Like, the chili flakes like £1.50. Should I get the chili flakes or not? Just talk to me. And she was just like, "Can you stop, please?" And so I'm like, the joke is, I'm like, no one else knows that's not my accent.
They don't
just
know, man.
You.
Just
and you
brilliant.
literally lost her heart. She was crying.
That's so good.
And she's just like, just stop it. And then we're walking down and we left the chili flakes. I got them in the end. And then we went down another aisle and I was like, "Mom, the drinking chocolate. Come on, get the drinking chocolate, Mom." She's like, "Chanel, just please, Chanel, just stop."
That's great. You're such a fucker.
Like,
I love it. I love it.
Like, "Stop what, Mom? I don't understand." She's like, I should have started my accent. I was like, "Mum, all your accents sound the same."
Oh, she's one of those. She's just like it's my accent when it's not my one. It's a foreign, but it's actually everything. I'm from Ireland, but also Pakistan and China and just the one neutral, not my voice. She's one of those. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm like, I'm glad you didn't, because I would have just been like, what are you saying?
You see, you're so good at the accent. If she started doing it, everyone would be looking at her like, why is she doing that funny accent? This poor, lovely northern girl is just looking for chili flakes. I don't know why your mother is suddenly, I mean, we call her racist, but we don't even know who she's making fun of. It's very unclear. I love that. My friend's sister is the same thing. The foreign voice, but she thinks she's changing it as well every time she does someone else, but it's literally the same voice for everyone.
Like, yeah, Mum would be like, "Oh, I'm doing a Chinese accent." "Mum, you sound like it's an African accent." And then she was trying to do African accent. It'd be like, why does that sound like an Indian accent?
And also a robot.
What's going on?
Yeah.
What's
all
happening?
The wires are crossed.
Literally, it's just like she's fusion. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Anyway, that was very enjoyable. I'm glad, but I'm glad most of your supermarket interactions have been very positive. That's good. Even during this dreadful pandemic, the dreadfulness of the pandemic, and that's good. And it's always good to put someone back in their fucking box as well. So I'm actually glad that happened to you, because it's quite fun. It's quite fun to be like, "Oh, hello, Mr. Jack in the Box. Why don't you get back down in there, motherfucker? When you squish you back down."